Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania Hundoke. And today we have Randall Apps presenting, and it is Sunday, the 13th of July 2025, or the 19th of June in the 13th year of Chongalguk. Thank you all for coming, and let's begin with a bow to our true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind, Chanjin Chapuninge Kyombe Paro. And let's recite our family pledge, both in Korean and English.
가전맨세 1. 전국 주인 우리 가족은 참사랑을 중심하고 본연 땅을 찾아 본연의 창조 이사인 시산천국과 전산천국을 창건할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 1. Our family, the owner of Chongalguk, pledges to seek our original homeland and build the kingdom of God on earth and in heaven, the original ideal of creation. by centering on true love. Thank you. I'll read again a mother's prayer that she gave at the Lifetime Achievements of True Parents exhibition opening. Today is the day on which the exhibition of the Lifetime Achievements of True Parents has been opened in commemoration of the 57th anniversary of mission work in Japan and the 56th anniversary of the founding of the Japanese Unification Church, with the 3rd anniversary of Songhua almost upon us. True parents have walked the historic course of 57 years of blood, sweat and tears in order to establish Japan, the enemy nation, at the center of the providence, and they have always worked together with the Japanese Unification Church to make it what it is today. Heavenly Parent, please help the people of Japan to practice the true love of living for the sake of others, the example of which you have set before us, so that they can indemnify every disloyalty they have shown in the course of providential history, and please guide them to stand at the center of the mainstream of providential history. Heavenly Parent, how hard you have worked to give birth to blessed families who can fulfill the promise to achieve the one world of peace, the one united world, which is the realization of the wish of our Heavenly Parent and true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind. When we look upon the items exhibited here today, we can realize only too keenly how hard God has worked and how much effort and devotion He has given until now to embrace humankind. Please help all members of the Unification Church to follow in the footsteps of true parents so that they can do their utmost best and spur themselves on more and more in carrying out the work of establishing Chongalguk. We hope and pray that you will embrace all blessed families living together with you in this proud age and help them to make a firm resolution as of this moment of this day and to translate their resolution into action so that they can receive the award of being your proud filial sons and daughters and your loyal followers. We sincerely hope to become people who no longer desire to only receive, but who can instead share out what we have to others and embrace the 7 billion world population. Beloved true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind, Heavenly Parent, we love you. We pray that you will hold us all in your embrace so that we can become proud, blessed families and second and third generations who can follow in the footsteps you have trod before us as you set an example of the life we need to live. We also hope that all these items we have prepared will be a source of comfort and of joy, both to you and to us. I report this in True Parents' name, Arju. Thank you, and let's give a warm welcome to Randall as he shares this morning. Thank you. You there, Randall?
I'm with the voice in one screen and a video on the other. So
Okay.
that works. Now, you hearing me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you okay and can see the screen okay.
Magic. Okay. And okay. Let's go back there. All right. Now, thank you for this. I'm sorry I didn't have more time to prepare, but hang on a sec. Now, did oh, I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Practical principles to world peace. John, could you mute your screen, please? So that way, I think my voice will. Yeah, there we go. All right. Now, when we're going out and talking to people, university students or whoever, some of them are not all that religious. And so if they see something that says something like practical principles to world peace, will that tweak with some of them? And then hearing that our name is not something church, but rather Family Federation for World Peace and Unification. Okay, that's a bit different. And you claim to have practical principles to world peace. Okay, so let me just find out a bit more about that. I think I'm going to be, there we go. Okay, so basically, for us to come up with a model that has practical principles to world peace, what kind of model should what things should a model include that is really practical for world peace? One of the things is that it should be multi-generational. It shouldn't just be for my generation. It shouldn't just be for millennials. It shouldn't just be for if it spans multi-generations, then it's going to be coming up with a lot more people that can be influenced with. So that's why family is a good basis for that. Now, we're the Family Federation for World Peace and Unification. Federation. So we're not just a family. When you think of family, family is a very small unit. It's only like a dozen people at most. So how is that a model for world peace? Well, the picture that I have there includes not just mum, dad, and the kids, but also grandparents in there as well. By the way, most of the diagrams that I'm using today come from outline of the principle. Is it the green book? So you've got family there, so that it goes through multi-generations. And you're drawing in opposites as well. Opposites that can still love each other. So it's coming from people of different parts of the world. It can come from people from different economical or social or occupational backgrounds. It can come with people with different language areas. It can come with also very opposite men and women. A lot of the different models that are around are like a political party or something like this, and then you see their party group and 95% are men, and it's kind of like, well, and so it has to be a federation. It has to be many different of these groupings. So family federations. So you've got lots of different ones that come from, as I have on the screen there. There's the blue background and orange background and yellow background and all the way through type of thing, to include federations of families from different areas of the world. But then you're talking not just family, not just a bit like a dozen people, but world. And so you're including all the people of the world there as well. Oh, there we go. I might do something with that. Hang on. Pointer options. Actually have a pointer. Good. Okay. So we do actually have the world included. So it does span. These practical principles are things that people all over the world can relate to, not just from a Christian background or Christian Judeo Muslim background, but also the Far East as well. And so it's world peace and it's the unification as well. So it comes up with different understandings that can be good for being able to see it from many points of view. Now, if you have someone with, I'm sorry, I didn't prepare, but easier with more than just a hat, but a t-shirt or all these different things that I may be able to use for a to attract the attention of people as I walk around to universities or whatever else. But we're in a witnessing program at the moment, and so if we can develop things like hats or whatever, that'd be great. Now, getting back to what I've written. Oh, also, we need it to be the surest fountain of caring to depend on from baby to old age. That loving model for world peace is the family. So, what principles should such a family follow? There are many types of principles. Principles that when we normally talk about, when people see my cap that says practical principles for world peace, they think, oh, principles or as in science, biology, physics, chemistry. Now science finds laws that guide our physical life. They're things that can be seen, heard, touched, tasted, smelled. Try not to taste too many things up. These are physical things, but we are more than just our body. We've got an internal side as well, an invisible side of things. Like our heart longs for emotion, intellect, and will. Each of those aim for love, truth, and goodness, respectively. So it isn't just the science that we're looking at, but things that encourage our heart. And the heart is made up of emotion, intellect, and will. And those things emotion looks for love, intellect looks for truth, and will looks for goodness. Now, I've got it with symbols that, usually when we have this four-position foundation, we have circles there. But I want to express that the emotion is more mushy and no real sharp corners, and it's kind of like, all embracing. Whereas intellect is more looking in different areas and may have a bit of sharp understandings there that can, be not so comfortable for some people. And then the will, well, that's just a block. There are some people that we meet that are more emotionally focused, more intellectually focused, or more will focused. Some that are more soft and cuddly, some that are more the harsh truth, and some that are, mate, I don't care what you're talking about. Maybe you're overthinking it. I'm just know what is good, and I'm going to do that. This is a type of way that we are wanting to, these are the people that we're wanting to reach out to. And these are the type of people that we meet within our own church as well. Some people are more intellectual, some are more emotional, and some are more will focused. So for physical and spiritual values together, we want the divine principle. So if you just, by studying principles that relate to our body, if we understand the principles more fully, then that gives us more advantages that we can do. For example, if you're focused on like laws that we have, and the law of gravity, and then you come to the end of where you can express yourself, and what looks then with looking over the cliff, that looks scary. That guy there is, doesn't want to get too close to the cliff. He knows that it's going to be dangerous if he keeps going. But if we get the same law of gravity and relate it to aerodynamics, gee, that can give us more freedom. We can keep going. So it's not as though the truth is there to scare us. When you understand more truth, it can give us more freedom. So there was a saying, you'll know the truth and the truth will set you free. So I think that if you're thinking of different things, and there's a lot of intellectuals that are getting really scary with the way that they're talking about different things, I think that there's the type of intellectuals that have gone to a certain area and then get scared with what they understand. But if they relate it to other things, they can fly. And that's part of the thing that I understand is part of the thing with the principles that we teach. The things that we teach in the, we call it divine principles, because it's not just the physical things, but also the internal side of our life that we need to relate to. And so if you're talking about both physical and spiritual, then this is more like the divine. And as a divine being, if we are divine beings, you know, because we're going to be living for eternity or aiming to get to heaven, then we ought to be able to understand things physically and spiritually, and to understand not just the truth relating to our body, but also the truth that relates to our internal side as well. So religion and science are not enemies. Too many times we hear that, you know, you're either scientific, you're thinking of things of science, or you're thinking of things of religion. And one is the enemy of the other, according to some people. And do you know why they think that? Because they've gotten to a level of truth and then stop there without keep going on. Now, one of my first instructors with the divine principle said, do you know what new and amazing things you're going to learn today? Nothing. What you're going to learn is what you already know. That's what we teach about. We teach about things that you already know. But then we relate it to other things. So this is what you already know. But then we add it to other things that you already know. We know that there's such things as laws of flight. Otherwise, birds and bugs can't fly. So you relate it to that as well, and you find that you have more freedom. So this is the thing. If you just look at some of the things that relate to our body, you may not see as much freedom unless you also relate it to things that relate to our internal side. So how do things grow? How do things develop with our spirit, with our spiritual understanding? Because basically, we were in a position where we were really dumb as far as science goes. And mankind has developed over the thousands of years until we're at this technological advancement that we have today. Also, we were very dumb with our understanding of internal laws. And so at one stage, someone had to come and say, don't kill. That's how bad we were. We thought it was pretty normal. Oh, you stepped on my toe. Let me get you back. I'm going to kill you. This is the extent of depravity, how depraved we were at one stage. We needed people to come and tell us, you know, hey, do to other people the way that you want them to do to you. Or if something that happens to you hurts you, then don't do that to others. And all the different religions of the world have related to this golden rule: do to others the way that you want them to do to you, in their own ways. The way that religion and science should be relating is kind of like the way that the mind and the body relates, because science looks at things of the body, religion looks at things of the mind. So the way, if you think that religion and science are enemies, are you trying to say that your mind and your body should be enemies? If people complain about, science is the way and religion is obsolete, are you saying that your mind is obsolete? Let's just look at some of these things. So how do things develop? At different times, there's been different people that have come along and raised us up in understanding. Like Abraham came and actually gave a whole sense of feeling that this is the proper way to do. And he left his home. He left the way that things were going on, and with idol worship and different things, and being tossed around by the seasons. Oh, it's gotten cold, so God is hating us now. Oh, it's gotten too hot, so now God is hating us again. No. And the gods that, will do something as a way to appease one god or another god or this other god. These type of things were being tossed around without us being able to give a direction to ourselves. It basically, what happened with Abraham, and also with years later, Buddha, Confucius, others that came as well, they were able to raise us up to a level where we were more conscious of other people. And we were getting, and all of these different people were giving us the golden rule, like, don't hurt others if you would feel hurt that way. And then things came with a higher type of level of understanding, not just being equal, not just don't be an enemy. Like down here, people were an enemy. They were, ready to kill each other. And then as it came up, we were understanding of, don't kill, and being more conscious. Then up here, it was more than just don't kill, but rather forgive. This was a big thing, to forgive because when we go around in relationships, relate to other people, it's easy to have a problem and then distance ourselves and try to separate from those we were friends with before. But at this stage, it's kind of like, at this time, we're looking to repent and looking to ask for forgiveness. So down here, we were enemies. Now it's friends, and now it's like brethren. We look at each other like brothers. There has to be a level that comes up from that as well, not just the type of things that came from the time of Jesus, but we're looking for every time that we have developed spiritually in different things, someone has come, someone has spoken to us. And the attitudes that we should have at that time is believe in him who he has sent. Believe in the person that comes with this new understanding. If we analyze it, we check him out, there is a formula that we were given, which is, you will know them by their fruits. So if someone comes, we check out their fruits, we check out the different things that they have done, and we find out that, yes, these people are actually really awesome. Okay, so then what are they doing? And this is not just a time when we're looking to relate as brothers, but it's more like developing that parent of a heart of a parent. And so this is what we were hoping to find within different things. The family type of model that we were talking about as a practical principle for peace. We need parents that can teach the children love. And different people have come at different times to raise people up, be it within Islam, for the Jews, for Christians, Buddhists, Confucius, Hindus. When this new person comes, he's not just the Messiah for Jews. He's also the true man for Confucius. He's also the new Mahatma Buddha for Buddhism. There's different people that have been talked about. The Christ for Christians. This is both on the spiritual self and for the physical self. Sorry that these initials that come from the, it's explained in the outline of the principle. So sorry about the initials there. And they come to help raise people up to meet the Messiah. Now, how come there's spiritual and physical down here and these ones are just spiritual? The God that, the whole idea of a real practical way of peace is we're not just looking for an understanding that gets to a certain level and it's then scary. Oh, all these people that have died, does that mean that they are in hell forever? Ah, that doesn't feel good. I don't like a God that does that. Oh, is God causing so much suffering around the world? Oh, I don't like a God that does that. And there are a lot of the atheists have gotten to a certain level of their understanding of truth and have related it to other ways. If you can understand all the different aspects, then, gee, this God, if he is understanding all these things and he is not just physical, then why do things stop at the physical side of things? Isn't there a way to develop things for the afterlife as well? If all these people that are now in the spirit world, they're just spiritual people, not having a spiritual and physical, then that means that these people should have a plan to be able to get out of the suffering that they're in the spiritual side of things. This is not just a practical principle for world peace, but for cosmic peace, because we're getting beyond that. So we're looking for the person to raise us up for that. What we had, our original experience, according to the Bible, for example, it talked about Adam and Eve. And they were meant to be the parents of all mankind. And these guys became fallen parents because we fell into ignorance. We fell into science ignorance. We didn't know all these things. We had to create fire. We had to create the wheel. And also spiritual ignorance. Their first children, Cain and Abel. One of them did something that was awesome, better than his older brother. And so what did his older brother do? Hey, was that great? No, his older brother killed his younger brother. That is the expression of the kind of love that he learned from his parents. This selfish, I do things for me. And if we happen to be there, fantastic, you have to listen to me. This is the type of selfishness which drags people away from the type of peace that we want in the family, in the community, in the society, and in the world. So there have to be children that have fallen into this kind of hell that develop to the point where they can have better children. Now, the type of parents that came here, there needs to be new parents. Now, in the Bible, when the Jews in the Old Testament were talking about what the Messiah is like, there was one part in Isaiah where it talks about the Prince of Peace, the King of Kings, Lord of Lords. In that same Bible verse, it also calls him Eternal Father. The Messiah, he should be expressing this heart, this model of world peace in a family type of environment, to be able to raise up people. What we're really looking for is not just an Adam, a new Adam to come, but rather a new Adam and Eve. This is the source of true love. We're looking for a model that has the opposites as well, that can come together. So there needs to be this father and mother figure of the true parents. And these new Adam and new Eve, they are the ones that will not just have sinless children themselves, but the children that came from this type of lifestyle, they should also raise up people from this world, have them blessed in marriage, so that then their children have a better chance than what we've had. But we're with sin, so it should be a way to remove the sin. If it's not like that, then, you know, how can you say that it's really saved? I'm saved, but I can't have children that are saved. I have, they have to get saved as well. They have to save themselves. So the whole focus of what the Messiah has to do when he comes back is not just be the Messiah, not just be a bachelor, but there should be true parents. Now, this is something that you're seen as a little bit different here with this family federation for world peace and unification. There's a few different understandings of what we're talking about with God. So if you have a problem with God, if these different university students that you're talking to can't relate to religion so much, that's okay. Work with it your own way. We're looking at it from different things, but we should be able to listen to different concepts in an open way if we're really, really, really looking for peace. And a lot of the people are looking for a way to bring peace in the world. So there's different, all of us here in this meeting, we're aware of the divine principles. And there's lots of different aspects that we go through with the divine principle. And some of them, we kind of think, what the heck is that there for in the principle? There's, let me get this pointer back again. Okay, wonderful. Okay. So with the divine principle, I looked at it one time with the, I mean, of course we read the principle, but sometimes it's just, oh, I'm just going to read from cover to cover. And hopefully I'll be able to understand some things along the way. But one time when I approached the principle, I thought, I'm going to approach it with the question, why is this section in the divine principle? Some of it is like, oh, we don't really need that, do we? And when people teach the divine principle, there's a lot of sections that we just kind of leave out. Like there's individual truth body. Individual truth body. How many times have you taught that when you teach the principle of creation? So I was reading the divine principle, and each section I kind of thought, well, what is this here for? What is the purpose for this? Actually, I worked out that basically each and every section is there to teach us that God loves us. This is the model for world peace, that must include that love is being passed on from generation to generation. That is why the family is a model for this world peace, because it's based on love. So, oh, excuse me, John, I think your picture is blocking some of the imagery there. You can't see the, oh, I'll do this myself maybe. Okay. There we go. And then like that. Does that get it back up? And then I may have to go back to here. And share again. Yeah. Is that it? No. That's one. Anyway. Okay, so practical principles for world peace. And so there's different let's see, there we go. So there's different concepts that are in the divine principles. Sometimes we wonder, what is it? You know, it seems kind of, gee, do we really need to have this? We approach it almost like a teacher approaching a curriculum. I don't know why algebra is in here. Haven't used it before in my life really, but this is part of what is in the curriculum, so we're going to teach it. Now, have a look at it and think, what is it here for? And all these different sections. If you don't know why that is there for, why it is in the principle, then ask. As a matter of fact, we've got a bit of time before the end of this session today. Can people come up with the different sections in principle that you may not understand what it's there for, and see, okay, well, what do you say? What do you think? Is it actually there for teaching that God is that God of love? I'll just touch with some of these sections, for example. Let's see. So with the individual truth body, you've got God who has both original Sung Sung and original Hyung Sung, or original energy and original original energy is the Hyung Sung, or the physical side of things almost, and the spiritual, or the Sung Sung, the motivation behind things. And we also have that, not only in people, but also things. Things have different laws of nature that guide their body. The way that things are, just follow as far as instinct goes. The way that humans are, we've got this heart, which looks for truth, love, and goodness. So because we have something in common, you need a common base to be able to have give and take, to be able to relate to each other. And so is God aloof? Is God perfect and we have no way to relate to it? No. We have a common base with God, because just as we are made up of internal and external, so is God. Just as humankind's are masculine and feminine, so is God. Not because God is not that way because we are. God is the origin of it all. He's the original internal, original external. And because of that, we've got a common base. God can't neglect us because we are there spiritually and physically. And because we have the common base with all other common beings, then we have a way to express that. Now, because that is there, we have a greater base to have this give and take and to have love. With the three orderly stages of growth. Now, for some people, it's kind of like, yeah, when I was teaching principle to start with, I would just breeze over this. And basically the thing that came out of it was man needs to show responsibility to grow. Is that what you hear? There's more to it than that. Why do we have this delay when we're trying to relate to different things? Here, there's this indirect dominion of God. We've got this. We have to grow to a point where we can then do things. But why do we start off so dumb? And we have to understand these things and grow through these things. What if your children didn't have to do this? You know what would happen? They would be perfect straight away. Wow, that would be awesome, wouldn't it? No. God has got another plan there. You know what's so awesome about this period of growth? God is inheriting to us the chance to be parents. If your children didn't need parents anymore, if they were perfect from the start, we would not have the chance to be parents. God is allowing us to learn all these different aspects and to be an important part in the lives of those that come from this relationship, come from this family. And we are the ones that help direct, mold, and teach and express this kind of heart. So this is a real advantage God is giving to us. This is, wow. For God to just include that, that was a pain in the neck for God as well, having all these kids around that are not perfect and could fall. This is the period when Adam and Eve fell. That was a challenge. It was a risk, but it was something that God was willing to do, because then you've got beings that aren't just going to do things perfectly because they were made that way, like robots, but rather expressing themselves and being individuals as they grow and learning different things and combinations of things that came from both parents and from all 4 of their grandparents and from all 8 of their great grandparents and all these different things that they're coming up. These are all individuals, even from the same family. Brothers and sisters are so different from each other. So this whole growth period is another way that God expressed, being able to express love to us. And within the family that grows out to society, nation, world, there's all these different things. With the, this is a great one as well. How many people look at indemnity and think, yeah, this is the way of God expressing love to us? For a lot of us, it was kind of like, no, this is a punishment. No. The type of things that we're going through to restore the problems that we lost in Eden are an expression of things that we needed to follow in Garden of Eden to grow. What is another way of saying indemnity? Taking responsibility, being a mature person, being able to right things that went wrong. With some of the different philosophies around, if you want things to get better, what you do is you wait until something drops out of the clouds. Are we waiting for, do we have to wait another couple of thousand years for something to drop out of the sky? No, we don't have to wait. We can pay indemnity. And when you pay indemnity, then you're relating to the different things that are essential to understand this principle. This is the first part of the restoration is an individual relates to the word. Now, at the time of Adam and Eve, the word was don't eat the apple, don't eat the fruit. And if you become one with that and saying, no, there's principles that I have to do to follow to show that my lifestyle is true. It isn't a test. It isn't a punishment. It is, I want to be one with the word, that there's much more to life than just having it something external. So the teachings, the truth, like the Bible or the Quran or the I Ching or Torah, or these are things that are not external to us. We have to become one with them. And so once this foundation of faith is there, then we are one with the faith. And then we have to show that we can relate to others, not just as an individual that has accepted the word, but we have to express that with others. And so Cain and Abel should have restored the relationships that normal human beings had. And we had this fallen nature. But what kind of indemnity is needed to restore the fallen nature? Hey, look at that. Look at that. Number one position there. Indemnity, the type of indemnity is to love. Now, love is not punishment. Indemnity is not punishment. It is a way to express ourselves in the right way as a mature person. So there's different things that we can do that understand the principles much easier. As a matter of fact, these two diagrams that we have in the divine principle, growth period and the four position foundation, understand those properly, and you can teach basically the basic principles for world peace that are needed. I think I'm taking up a lot of the question time. Thank you very much for letting me talk here. I didn't prepare as much for this, but I hope that something came out of this in your, especially with your witnessing, with the way that you're talking to people. So I'll just pass it back to John. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Randall. Thank you for sharing with us. And yeah, we'll just do that. Yeah, well, I think even though you kept saying you didn't prepare so well, I think you prepared very well, explaining the practical principles that we have, because the principle is a practical thing that is what our true parents lived through, and is the essence that everyone needs to follow. We follow the laws just like you showed their gravity, and it's not a limitation. It's just we need to apply it so that we can then expand our freedom. So with the principle, it's just the love of God enabling us to be fully free. Because once we achieve our maturity through successfully growing, then automatically we enter the area where we can freely love everyone, anywhere, all the time. So it's applying the principle is a very key aspect of our life, because it makes up our life. So I think you're highlighting the practical aspects is what we need to put into practice, so that our emotion, intellect, and will are all connected on the heart of heaven. Yeah. So thank you, and it's true, getting close to the time. But if there's anyone wanting to say something or share something, please go ahead.
I know Chris was someone looking for practical ways of doing things as well. And basically I want to have a question for Greg Stone. With a lot of the different things that we're wanting to do, we want to reach out to people with witnessing, and we want to go out and do things that are a little uncomfortable. How many people know that Greg Stone helped save somebody's life at one time? I heard this maybe 40 years ago, only one time. But there's different things that we hear from different people that stick. Greg, could you just repeat something that you said in your testimony about 40 years ago about how you saved somebody's life one time? I'm putting you on the spot.
You are. Well, I think I didn't know. I was actually I think this is the one you're referring to.
I was talking about
Yeah,
when you were a uni, I think, with on the bicycle and you saw someone collapse.
that's right. Yes, yes. Yeah, well, yeah, she just collapsed on, I don't know whether she had a heart attack or something like that, but I'd done first aid. So I just ran over and just tried to revive her with mouth-to-mouth resuscitation and all kinds of stuff like that. But in the end, actually wasn't successful. So I'm afraid. Anyway, there's just something that's happened suddenly. Just have to respond to it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Randall. I think one point I picked up that I think is very important in conveying the principle that you mentioned, and that is um, it's okay for people to improve themselves, but how do they transfer that to their children? How do they free their children from having to go through this thing? It's like a removal of original sin. And I was just talking, we had dinner with a Palestinian family last week, and that point came up. It's okay to follow spiritual principles, but how do you actually, how can this be passed on so the next generation doesn't have to go through what we went through? So I think that's a very important point. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. Yeah.
I point out that a lot of the things that we pass on to our kids, when you look at it relative to how other families are, they're just still really, living for the sake of others. That's a practical thing that we're learning, not just from the teachings, but also from the example of not only our lives, but also, some of the leaders. For Greg Stern to be, trying to save someone's life, it's kind of like, oh, this is one of our leaders. This is just something like, why do, how do you just come up to a stranger and start giving them mouth-to-mouth resuscitation when it looks as though they're in a problem? But you would see many more people standing around looking and being spectators rather than taking the initiative to help save a life. And we're taking the initiative. And of course, they are also looking at things that are relative. The kids are seeing that, we put in more hours working than my schoolmates, their parents put in working. They only put in 40 hours a week. We put in 120 hours a week. And their mates' parents are getting paid a lot more than we are. And, is this practical? And so there is this kind of resentment that's there that because of the relative things that we're not getting the rewards that, should be there for us. But the way that we're expressing ourselves, who is more exemplary in different ways. And at different times, the kids, even those that have moved away, are still talking about, different things of the church. They're still mindful of things of the church. It just may be, a foot washing away from coming back. This is what Jesus found as well. He also had to wash people's feet at some stage. Anyway,
Yeah.
the kids are all that bad.
Thank you, Randall. Thank you, everyone. I think it is time for us to offer now our unison prayer. So I'll just bring up the screen. And there it is. And let's pray together. Thank you. Chu. Thank you, everyone. Thank you again, Randall, for sharing with us this morning, and I hope everyone has a great day and see you all again tomorrow. Thank you.
Can I also just say, John,
Yeah.
if it's hard to get out and witness, then maybe just put something up as a topic that you may want to be happy to talk about, and that might have people approach. I like the idea of having the website there, and if we can have things on the website that will help with witnessing contacts. And then I put a little thing on the pens, so that it will have the website and something and a phone number, so that people will, it's something to give them. But if we have flyers, if we come up with other things for witnessing, fantastic. But yeah, thanks everyone. Hugs.
Thank you, Mr. Randall.
Good.
Thank you. Thank you, Randall.
Did you mean to spell practical like that,
Thank you, Randall.
Randall? You spelled it wrong.
Marie's asking, did you mean to spell practical wrong?
Okay. People will talk to me because they like the idea of practical principles for peace. Others will talk to me because I spelled it wrong.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, Randall, you're great. Thank you so much.
Good job.
You just asked me yesterday, so it's incredible.
What's that?
Thank you.
John, I'm coming up to church.
Okay.